Eventually, I think about 12 years old, I started off with small things like cigarettes. And then I remember around at the age of 14, I was introduced by alcohol. And then eventually was introduced to drugs at the time. And if you were to use the word addiction, yes, I was definitely addicted to them.
These are really the gang of three.
I was surrounded by people who were interested in those things. So you begin to take one, and before you know it, becomes a habit. Slowly, it became my identity.
Being labeled as the bad boy.
Yes. Eventually, looking back at it, didn't do me any good. What we tell the teenagers, especially when they're looking for identity, it really, really molds them.
That what we tell kids really matter. Their brain is very impressionable. Have you ever felt like negative thing about yourself and reflecting the things that you are going through?
Death was the thought. Death. If death is at the end, like, what is the purpose of life? What's the point of living, you know? And I think that's when I realized, like, I don't really want to go down this path anymore. Purpose is something that I was looking forward to. Yeah, and being born a Christian, I began to search what has the Bible has to offer to me. And thank God that I found something there.
My hair is standing up when you are mentioning that, because it is, you're only 18 years old, you know, and you are thinking all these things in your life. Is like, what am I doing, you know?
Yeah.
All these things that I'm doing, it will lead to death.
Yeah.
I'm happy also, it will lead to death. I'm sad also, it will lead to death. So you need to find a purpose.
Yes.
The Japanese people call it the ikigai.
Yes.
Ikigai is the reason why you are alive. And that is actually part of the longevity factor of Okinawans in Japan. When you find your purpose in life, it will help you in your quality life. Not just quality, but long life, you know.
Yeah, that is very true. If you were to ask me at 17 what was my purpose in life, I would say to get married so I wouldn't be lonely.
Right.
To get a house.
Right.
Just so I can stay. And to drink beer. I feel heading down that life, it takes away your purpose. Like and when you don't have purpose, you don't have a passion to live and do something meaningful in life. I think that it's affecting a lot of young people these days. I had no purpose. Like you asked me, what was your purpose? What's your passion? I have no passion. I just want to work, go and drink. Work. Like, that's working to death also.
Yes,
There's really no life there. I'm alive, but I'm not living.
Oh, that's nice. So how did you find your purpose? Because if not, like what you say, it will lead you to death if you continued on that path. Was it a serendipity that you suddenly wake up and I'm going to change my path? Or was it an accumulation of some events that happened and triggered you to choose a better way?
I think all of the above that you mentioned, all of this, I think they do play a part to some extent. I was just talking to some of my youth that I was helping with this mental health as well. I think the first part is they must first realize themselves. Until then, no matter how much program, how much help, how much assistance you are providing, you see no change in them because they just don't want to receive it, you know. And I've seen so many parents discouraged because they say they have done all they can. But it's not just doing all they can. If the person you're trying to help doesn't realize they want to change, all your help you can will go into vain, you see. So the first step, and the countless of young people that I've tried to help, those who really change are those who like, you know what, I've realized I don't want to go down that path anymore. I want your help. And they receive the help. So parents, what they are offering may actually be good, and they might actually be like super beneficial. But if the child doesn't realize, it will be in vain. And they have to, that's something I think you just have to pray for as a Christian. Oh, wait. So for me, the whole turning point was, it would be a lie for me to say that my parents wasn't there to help. It would be a lie for me to say that there was not a community that was ready to help. It was just me who did not realize that I don't want this life anymore. But the moment I realized that I don't want this life anymore, and I began to search for it, I began to see all these opportunities.
Wow.
And so that's where you come in, where there were a lot of small events. You know? The community, in our church, we call it care group. That started, and that was so important. I think as young people, we are very relationship-based. You know? And so that helped a lot. And of course, I think one of the key incidents that I remember was the kind of love that the church showed me. So specifically, all right, so since, like I said earlier, I've always been identified as being the bad one. And that comes with parents saying, hey, I don't want you to mix with Robert. You know, they tell their kids, but somehow it comes to my ear. So as a young kid, I knew that, you know. I wouldn't say they are wrong. If I had my own child, I wouldn't want my child to be with Robert.
Yes, yeah,
Okay?
yeah, of course.
But at that age, I felt judged. Okay, but I don't blame them now. I'm
Yeah.
just letting you know how I felt
Yes,
at that
yes,
age.
of course,
I
of
felt
course.
judged at that moment. One day I was going to another church, and I remember the elder of the church. He knew exactly what I was doing. He knew the vices that I was in.
Right.
And I remember I was struggling, but I was also trying to come back to church, trying to find purpose. And I came, and one day he saw me, and he looked at me and he says, "You know what, Robert? I know you are drinking. I know you are smoking." He says, "I want to see you in church every Saturday."
Oh, wow.
That began to bring up like a question in my mind. It's like, "But you know what I'm doing, and you are saying that you want to see me every Saturday."
Wow.
And then I go like, where does this kind of love come from? You know? And with all the people that has helped me come out of that life into the new journey, just brought so much purpose in my life that I want to do the same for others. And so there are small events, and those maybe were like the more major turning point that I remember. But there were a lot of people, my good friends who were in church. There were people that were just helping along the way. But it was one of the main events that I remember.
Yes.
Somebody who knows your weakness and says, "Hey, I still want you."
Wow. Because most of the time, people will write you off.
100%.
But this guy throw you like a lifeline, a rope.
Yeah. You see, when people, at least myself, I knew like it's not like I didn't know I was not in the right path. We know. We also know that there's not much to life from that. But somehow some of us are just stuck into it, you know.
Right.
So having someone else believe that there is more than that, for me, when I don't believe myself, brought about some belief that, hey, maybe there's more to life than this for myself as well.
Right.
And that brought some like hope to it. So I think sometimes we need to have hope or believe in some of our young people's, especially when they don't believe in themselves also.
Yeah, because that is the major challenge of young people, you know. You may see them like so gung-ho
Yes,
and
but
so,
deep down.
you know, but deep inside them, they're actually really lost puppies kind of, and they need guidance from adults.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's funny how the older people were the one who led you to the negative, the vices that you were having. And it is also the sense of belonging from the older generation, older people who lead you back to choose a different path.
Yeah.
And that makes me realize that the roles of the older people in the lives of our teenagers is very crucial.
100%. Look, I don't need the older people to be my friend,
Yeah.
but it was great when they build a relationship with me.
Right.
You see, sometimes I've heard older people saying like, the young people must come and, they must come to us. And I think here's the other thing, they cannot come.
Yeah.
Because the older people are, the older you are, I believe the more wiser you are, you are higher. I don't think it's the lower coming to the higher. They cannot. They lack of skills. They don't know, like young people, I don't even know what to say to the older people. The older people, however, because they are smarter, they are wiser, they can actually come lower.
Down to the lower.
They can come lower. A higher person can come lower. A lower person cannot go higher.
Wow.
So I remember when I was at my teenage life, very rebellious, no one could speak to me. Like anybody would try to correct me, I'll be angry with them. But then there was this one person. One person could speak to me. Why? He would come down, sit down once in a while, talk to us, make joke with us, just show how we are doing, and then he will leave.
Right? Not even giving advice.
No, nothing. It's just being
Just
there.
being there.
So when he says stop, we stop.
Wow.
There was a group of us who were very naughty. Nobody could stop us. But when he says stop, we stop. When he says let's go, we go. We like it, we don't like it. We have respect for the elderly people. Because even in like the outside life, even in the gang life, you are taught to respect.
Right.
The word respect still exists even in the gang life.
Okay.
So when somebody older has no reason to come and talk to you, but decides to come and spend some time with you, you give that elderly person a respect straight away.
Wow.
So he was the only person when we were doing something and nobody could talk to us, they would send him, and we would surely listen to him. And this is something that I learned much later on. It says you must connect before you correct.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yes, and I think that's very important with young people.
Yeah.
If you don't have a relationship with them, you can't go and teach them.
Correct.
When my mom says, "Why are you smoking?" she shouted at me, "You were taking up." I didn't say my mom is judgmental. Not even once I say my mom is white, because my mom has a relationship with me. When somebody random just comes to me like, "You are a bad boy," it's like you don't even know me out.
Yeah.
So I think when we have a relationship with young people, because young people I feel is very relationship based. When you have a relationship with young people, you talk to them, they will listen. If they don't follow, they will at least remember and respect you.
It's coming from your personal experience, and it's really talking right at me, you know, when I'm actually reflecting back, what have I done to the young people that I have been with, you know, and it is something that we need to learn as adults, you know, to practice, because it's not easy. We were from a generation where the older people during our time when we were growing up just come in and tell us, do this, do this, do this. But now it's such a different generation,
Yes.
you know. You really need to have a connection first before you are able to tell them that you need to stop whatever you are doing. If you don't have that relationship, don't even think about talking or saying anything.
Yeah.
Wow, that is that is quite deep. Now, so how are you now as a father? How do you see yourself rearing your child in the way that you want it to be? Would you like him to experience what you have gone through, or to be open with anything that will come, or how do you? How would you?
This is a very interesting question because you see, first of all, I don't think anybody has to go through a drastic dark past to come to realize they need the light.
Right.
I don't believe in that.
Okay.
All right. I feel that there are people like me who are unfortunate, who maybe didn't listen to the warnings and went down this path, or maybe due to my circumstances, whatever it is.
Yes.
I don't think anybody should be. I think more people should naturally in their neutral life then lead to the light.
Right.
The right path. Yeah. So this whole idea of going through the dark path, we don't need it, because as much as we come back to the light, whatever we have gone through, somehow, somewhere, it's still within us, you know, and we have to struggle to come out of it.
Right.
I don't think it's necessary. So this idea of I need to go and experience the world before I come and turn a new leaf, I think that is not reasonable, not ideal at all. I remember talking to some of my friends, you know, who now have kids as well, and some were saying like, you know what, I want my kids to be able to experience.
Yeah.
I was like, that's like basically. No, I personally, it's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I don't believe we need to do that. But at the same time, I think children will eventually make their own decision.
Right.
Sometimes I feel parents really bring that guilt upon themselves. I understand why, but sometimes children just really make their own decision. You can see a family where they have two kids. One is obedient, one is disobedient. Is it really the parents' fault? Sometimes, you know, sometimes maybe the parents play a part, but was it really? So for me, as a father, knowing that bad experience, when he comes to awareness of it, then I think I should teach him as young as possible. I believe there's no children is too young to reason with.
I like that.
I feel sometimes we look at the
That's
children,
true.
they're too young. So what we do is, don't do it because I say don't do it.
Yeah.
Okay, I know. If your goal is to teach them obedience, okay, fine. But if you're trying to train them to prepare for the world, because eventually they're going to leave your guidance, then I think it's important to reason with them, to explain to them, and help them understand. Not bring them, but when it rises up, explain to them and bring them. Tell them why, not just don't do it why you don't do it.
Yeah. Explanation is necessary.
Yes. So I hope to train my child in that manner.
Yeah.
I'm young, my son is only one year old and above. I have no qualification to say anything, no evidence to say that is the way.
I like the way you say it. No qualification. Yeah. You know, being parents is real. There's no guidebook. It's right, like living in faith.
Yes.
And just hoping that all the things that you are doing is
Is right.
is right, but because at the end of the day, they have their own minds. They will decide what they want to do. But you can only hope that all the things that you have done and guided them in the right way will really guide them to the light. What are the things you can advise?
Talking about never giving up, that was actually really true, and I found that many years later when I so aside from the 3 vices that we talk about, I think the latest one, I don't know if it's the latest one, but the more common one that I'm hearing is,
and it's sensitive because it's hidden.
Yes,
people can hide it.
When you talk about mental health, I think that is one of the main causes that is really attacking the young people.
One of the factors why those in the past kids are more resilient is because